doesn't actually appear in English until the 17th century, and it wasn't used with any frequency until the 20th. Now, this doesn't mean, of course, that people didn't have sleep problems before then. There are plenty of references to sleep disorders in historical texts, and plenty of famous people who documented their sleep problems, like Benjamin Franklin. It's sometimes supposed that it's our increasingly stressful lifestyle which is behind this awareness of insomnia, or the increased instances of it, but I don't really buy this. If you look at the lifestyles that people had to endure in the past, living through wars or famines, or even the jobs that they had to do as night watchmen or carers, many of them wouldn't have had the luxury of regular sleep. What I think this increased use does indicate is the growing medicalization of our lives. That is, the tendency to define various human conditions and life's traumas as medical conditions. I think that's what's behind this identification of insomnia as a condition in its own right, instead of seeing it as part of a cluster of symptoms which are the result of a particular physical or psychological disorder, or even just a person's particular circumstances.
People responsible for marketing products need to consider the psychology of consumers, but they don't always get it right. Advertisements often use the word choice or choose, but there's quite a lot of evidence that giving customers a big range of products to choose from, especially when many of them are inevitably going to be quite similar, isn't really the best strategy. People have done experiments comparing, say, a store where only a few products were displayed with one where there was a really big selection. What they seem to show is that, yes, the one with the biggest range attracts more customers, but far fewer of these customers actually make a purchase. The obvious reason for this is that if you present people with a wide range of choices, then really you are making it more difficult for them to choose, so they walk away without choosing anything. And there's another point as well. If there's a really wide range of products, then people tend to think that one of them must be the perfect one, the one that's exactly right for them. Of course, probably none of them is exactly right, but you've raised people's expectations so that it's more likely they'll feel disappointed with their purchase. So there's a strong case for not giving people more choice than they can easily handle.
Many scientists, myself included, have long been fascinated by animals emitting light from their bodies, a phenomenon known as bioluminescence. This is usually caused by a chemical reaction, either when under attack or while trying to attract a mate. Through our previous research, we believed that bioluminescence in fish was made by the fish themselves. To produce the light, they needed a specific molecule, luciferin, and an enzyme closely related to it, which forces the molecule to act in this way. We thought that the fish produced these two components internally and independently. However, some of our more recent research has shown that in fact, one species of fish essentially steals these components from its prey and does not produce either of them itself. Rather than self-production, the fish extracts the necessary ingredients during digestion. The fact that the enzyme and molecule are not destroyed during the digestive process has surprised us the most. Although this is a breakthrough in biological science, we still have a lot more to discover to fully understand bioluminescence in fish.
Well, creating employee well-being in the workplace is not just a case of providing free fruit for employees or designing breakout areas in their offices. No, it requires a range of other things to be in place, including effective communication, good management, and clear job design. Communication between managers and subordinates, amongst colleagues and across departments, can affect employees' well-being as well as their productivity. A high-quality work environment not only provides a joined-up approach at the company's local and national levels, but also job security, defined roles, the chance to utilize existing skills and to hone new ones. When looking to improve employee well-being, management should introduce internal activities that would benefit employees and companies in the long run, rather than focusing on easy-to-implement options which may not in fact lead to ongoing impact. Companies should make small but systematic changes to manager training, foster appropriate conditions for employees, and create opportunities for their development. In doing so, employee well-being will be promoted, people will feel valued, and they'll be more productive.
So, you've been asked to write a business plan as part of your next assignment. But what is the purpose of a business plan and why is it so essential? According to recent studies, more millennials, such as you guys in the room, are becoming entrepreneurial and launching their own startups. Yet, the same studies show that often some of these companies have never actually composed a business plan, and only consider it if they require financing. So, let's discuss if business plans are still as crucial as they once were. To obtain backing from a potential investor or venture capitalist, a plan needs to be designed, one that has carefully considered the financial risks for all parties involved, this is the main purpose of your plan, to reassure your prospective financial backer. You may require a backer or a cash injection for numerous reasons. According to research, the most common reasons are to raise money for stock, to grow the company by buying up smaller competitors, for clearing debt, or for equity finance. Regardless of the motive, ensure your plan for your business is clear, credible, and goes into enough detail to entice an investor, while still showing that their capital is secure in your hands. Your research that has gone into the plan should provide sound answers, and should show that you have made assessments and forecasts for the upcoming business year.
Transport and manufacturing are often blamed for global warming, with good reason, but agriculture is also one of the greatest contributors to the problem. Farming emits more greenhouse gases than trucks, trains, and airplanes combined. It's also a very thirsty business, using precious water supplies, and pollution from chemicals ends up contaminating many of our river systems. As we need to grow more and more food, the issue of the environmental problems that agriculture creates cannot be ignored. Much of the debate to date has been between two extreme sides, those who think that organic farming is the answer to the environmental problems, and those who believe that organic farming cannot survive in the fierce, competitive food markets we have these days and cannot meet the needs of a growing population. But many organic farmers have recognized that small farms are in fact more efficient and productive. They create higher yields or larger harvests per capita than mass farming. For that reason, it doesn't have to be a choice between one or the other. We can still feed the world's population using organic methods.
Now, let's look at the eating habits of common garden birds. A recent study has shown that the best way of teaching one particular type of garden bird, the blue tit, how to avoid food which tastes disgusting or could be dangerous, is to play them videos of a different species of tit eating. When the blue tits saw this other species eating and rejecting food, they quickly learned from what they saw and didn't eat that type of food themselves. This gave the blue tits an obvious advantage. It meant that they didn't have to spend so much time and energy trying different types of food in order to find the ones they could eat without harming themselves. Another benefit was that they were less likely to become ill after eating food that's bad for them.